So what's your name? Yullbrenna.
Hi, you schmucks!
Alright, hey everybody, Yullbrenna here with another Relic Arena gameplay video. This time we're going to be playing Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, of course, a classic one that every new player should know, and of course every experienced player should be playing as well. Just a great overall leader. And I've done a lot of introductory videos on Abraham Lincoln. If you don't, this is your first time watching me, you don't know what Lincoln does. So as you just saw, there was a firework, and you get a chance, a 30% chance to start to get a firework that will upgrade one of your relics. And you can see it upgraded it there for me. So what else can you do? When you upgrade the leader, you're going to get a plus 10% chance to that red firework. At level 3, you're going to get a 20% chance for a white firework, which upgrades 2 relics. Level 4, you get another 15% chance on top of that red firework. And then Stars and Stripes, when you max it out, you're going to get a 10% chance for a blue firework, which is 4 random relics. And that's really a lot of fun. So you can tell with this percent chance of upgrading relics, it can be a little bit of a dice roll, right? With this leader, depending on how you play, you can stay at shop or leader level 3, maybe leader level 4. Not a lot of people like to go to leader level 5 because of the randomness of it. So that's completely understandable. I usually like to go that way because I think depending on how much gold you've invested in it, you get one chance of an upgrade, and that's pretty much worth it for that upgrade. So I'm going to play that way, where I won't go super aggressive to level up my leader because I want to get ultimates into play, and I'm going to be focusing a lot on the strength of ultimates in this game. So I won't be focusing too much on how to play Lincoln, but I'll definitely explain it. But I want to kind of show a couple builds that are definitely a lot of fun to play and can win you games, and a lot of spells that are actually really good. So I decided, if you can see, I'm playing a little bit narrow here, grabbing spells only that I want to keep for the most part for the long term. The Zulu necklace isn't part of my plan for the long term, but it's a good spell early on, especially if you're fairly survivable. So I'll go ahead and use that. But again, once I have the spells that I like, again with this Terracotta Army plus seatbelt combo, with also the Scepter of Agamemnon, and you can see I accidentally had it on my frontliner instead of my ranger. Bit of a whoopsies there, but this is a great combo with these 3, and you can add on any 4th spell of your choosing. And I think these 3 spells are really fun. Just get an attack modifier on here, some survivability, another spell. It's kind of up to you how you want to play it. So getting some high rolls here into Scepter of Agamemnon. I don't really plan on running too many other physical carries, so I don't need that aura, so I can go for the toughness and the percent attack lifesteal. Also high rolling on the Shroud of Turin, which is a great buff that at Juicy prevents physical damage from being dealt. So a really good buff that you can put on your carry to make sure they survive, or if you're throwing somebody into the back line, you can make sure that they're surviving as well. So far, don't have too much damage. I don't have a lot of physical damage, I don't have a lot of magical damage, and this physical damage that I'm getting really is only beneficial once I get seatbelt up to its first upgrade, and I get some more attack speed in there. So, but I do have a lot of my spells, so I upgrade again to leader level 3, and unfortunately, it goes back into Scepter of Agamemnon. So a little unfortunate. I really want that first super is when I get a big power spike for seatbelt, and you'll kind of see what that does. In the meantime, I'm holding off on my spells, playing fairly narrow here. Zulu, playing the necklace and the headdress, but those are probably, again, part of my long-term plan, so we'll stay at level 1, and I'll probably sell them off a little bit later once I get ultimates into play. So again, just not doing a lot of damage. This guy is fairly tanky and dealing a lot of damage. He is putting a lot of points into the Zulu necklace. I get a random upgrade into that Zulu necklace, which I said not exactly focused on. And now that I've got a 3rd unit in play, I should probably get ultimates into play too. I'm playing pretty narrow here, but this witch is going to be buffing up and probably just playing a little bit of support with its spells. So I'll just throw it on there. My frontliner doesn't have anything. Again, still a little bit struggling. I've upgraded my leader a lot and I've upgraded my shop a lot. So you can see my build is weak and I'm in last place because of it. So playing a little bit greedy by upgrading my leader and my shop to level 3. If you can take a look at everybody else, there's one person at level 4 for his leader, but everybody else you can see is in shops 1 or 2, and maybe they've upgraded their leader a little bit. You can see right up here, someone upgrading their leader a lot. So I'm kind of focusing on both, and it's definitely causing some issues for me, right? So one combo that I can do is dog tags, essentially make my Terracotta Army a little bit tankier because those illusions can stay alive a lot longer, which means they're going to be dealing way more damage. So that's why I picked up the dog tags. And of course, I really love Persian Carpet. Getting to the back line I think is key that not a lot of people think about, but I'll definitely get there and probably put that on my final unit. And then if I'm going to be getting to their back line, the doll is also very beneficial. You can see one of the upgrades is it's going to heal allies. So if I'm throwing it on the back line and then healing my guys they get to the back line, I'll have a little bit more survivability, a little bit more damage. So there's the combo there of throwing the doll and getting to the back line. And then just some general good ultimates. Now that I've got ultimates into play, which ones do I want to focus on? Claw Machine, actually fairly underrated, a really good way to stun units, some units that are on the back line, pull them in. So I'll look at that. And then I got my first upgrade, like I talked about, with Seatbelt. So Seatbelt first, Terracotta Army, if you're not familiar with it, Terracotta Army, obviously dealing a good amount of damage, but then Seatbelt says for every 10% of health missing, you're going to be gaining attack speed and attack damage. And you put that with the Scepter of Agamemnon, which is gaining attacks, lifesteal, and attack damage, and you're going to be hitting really hard and be getting a lot of lifesteal. So even if your illusions get damage onto them, they're going to be attacking faster, and they're going to be hitting harder, and they're going to have a little bit more survivability with that lifesteal. So really good combo, I think, with these three. You can see the doll is working really well with my units getting to the back line. And here's where the Seatbelt, you can see my illusions staying alive and doing a lot of damage here. Getting a nice white firework there. So I would say early on with Abraham Lincoln, you kind of want to be focusing on staying, if it's round 9, you want to have the same amount of upgrades, hopefully getting about an upgrade per level in the early game, and then late game, depending on how aggressive you are, you can get back up and hopefully get some more, and hopefully you're getting, 30, you're getting lucky in high roll, you're getting 40, something like that. So I got my final unit out. We'll get to the back line, cast the oil lamp, which will have the death rattle on it, and then dealing some stuns with the Mammoth Fossil as well. And already my 2 units dealing a lot of damage, which is the doll, and then you also have the Mammoth Fossil, the Persian Carpet. So these 2 units right here comboing together very nicely. And I want to get up to leader level 5, but I'm still just got up to leader level 4, and I'm playing kind of narrow. This bazooka would actually be pretty fun on the Terracotta Army if I can get it off and pull it off. You get it to the first super, and then you're going to have an 8% chance for the rocket to shoot when you're attacking. So that could be a good combo if I can get it there. So that's also an option, and that's why I picked it up. So my backline, my tanks did get blown up a little bit. And unfortunately getting taken out by second place. Second place, as you can see, fairly high ranked player. You can see ranks right here for other people. And so you can see 17th ranked player on the leaderboards. And I'm in last place still. But the game's not over yet. It's only round 11. I'm not too worried, but I definitely need to hit some of my spells, otherwise it's going to be over. And hopefully get some lucky fireworks as well. A lot of stuns working out. Guy can't get a lot of the spells off. And I take him down. Very nice, so at least I'm not losing to second to last place. And another white firework here, so kind of staying on pace, round 12, 13 upgrades. And high rolling on Shroud of Turin, so if I can get that juicy off, that'll be very helpful. Terracotta Army, I'm going to go ahead and do the incoming damage reduction. That way they're a little bit more survivable, and of course making them even more survivable with the dog tag. So hopefully people can't kill my illusion army. And I don't really want the death rattle, so I'll go for the cleanse, making sure I'm not getting slowed down, things of that nature. And then I'll maybe get the damage block when it goes even higher, but since it's my backline damage dealer, don't need to go for the death rattle. A little bit of a different one for dog tags. A lot of good AoE magic damage happening here. You can see that claw machine doing some good work. And my illusion picks up the pieces here, so a lot of good initial damage. And finding my spells here, a little bit on a winning streak, and I finally get the bazooka up. I don't really have much damage stack on it. I've only killed one, so I could switch that out for the dog tags, and I think I'll go ahead and try it out. Might be a power spike that I need to go on a winning streak and turn this lobby around. Let's see if this works. So I did get a couple bazooka kills, but then I'm getting absolutely slowed here. But the genie comes in clutch. I just survive. So I do a good amount of damage, but I don't know how much the bazooka actually mattered. Still didn't even get a damage stack on it, which is unfortunate because if you're not getting damage stacks on it in the long term, it might not be worth it. The doll for its second super, probably just go for the additional knockback, just causing more problems for them. And then the Persian carpet, I could get the reduced cast time. I've got some spells that take a while to cast, so I'll just do that reduction on there. I think both are good. You could go either way. If you have spells that instantly cast, just go for the relic power. You can see the heals doing a good amount of work, keeping me survivable, but they get to my back line. There's the survivability, but unfortunately, going down to another player, actually, ranked 55th on the leaderboard. So playing a couple top-ranked players in this game, which makes sense just because the player base, you know, the player count isn't as high as it should be, and hopefully it grows over time. But there's a lot of top-ranked players in this game, and it's obviously going to be difficult. Upgraded to leader level 5 here on round 15. So again, really just looking to hit at least one upgrade with those blue fireworks, and it's probably going to be worth it for the 4 upgrades. The claw machine works perfect and takes out his carry, which makes it very nice for me. I take him down. That's a good sign. That was second place. Getting the Mammoth Fossil up, really good juicy. And again, when you're playing Lincoln, you kind of want to target those spells that have great juicies. And if you don't know what the juicy is, it's going to have this Stampede coming into contact with units. So very good dealing damage in that aspect. So just some added AoE damage that I'm already doing. A lot of AoE damage, and then of course the cleanup with the Ranger. You can also tell I got rid of the bazooka. It just wasn't happening. I wasn't gaining stacks of it. So I'll go back to the dog tags. It's a bonus 500 health already. Getting targeted again. Everybody's going after my seatbelt for that sustained damage. I end up dying, but I do have this damage here. It just doesn't work out. I lose to third place now, and it's not looking great here. playing Lincoln, I definitely need to hit some juicies, and I get my first juicy, which I think is a big upgrade, and that's granting that physical immunity during the buff. So getting to the back line now should be a little bit easier. I should be a little bit more survivable with the doll, and hopefully I'm getting off my spells and just causing problems with this Mammoth Fossil mini stun and the oil lamp as well. Unfortunately, I placed second place again. This time I do lose to him, and now I'm looking at 7th place, potentially first one out here. Let's go for the health regen there. Devil's Bible isn't too crucial for me, but I'm being greedy. I'll go for it a little bit. And there's another upgrade for the seatbelt, so probably should lock shop for that. A little bit of shuffling here. Let's see how this goes. Terracotta Army doing work here, and I get the physical immunity again, which prevents a lot of the damage, and I managed to survive. So that was a little bit of a close one. Another white firework, which means I get the oil lamp juicy. So I'm going to be spawning a second genie as well. So really good for the death rattle when I'm getting to their back line. In addition to that, I'm also getting the Persian carpet, so the bonus radius and the bonus damage. Really great here. So I'm going to be dealing a lot more damage with the stun and of course the Mammoth Fossil as well. So finally hitting some spells here. Let's see if this makes the difference. See if I can continue winning here. I'm pretty much on my last life. Facing off against pretty much last place here. Doing a lot of good work here with all of these stuns. Take him down. Claw machine doing work too. And we're looking good. Another white firework. Haven't seen a blue firework yet. So for the moment, not the best upgrade. And I was pretty much 1 gold away. So I might as well just upgrade. I could have waited another round. And we get the Scepter of Agamemnon. So big upgrade for me. And this is after dealing 500 damage, you're going to roar. And you're going to be deal damage and stun everybody. So this is very similar to Primal Roar in Dota. It's a huge upgrade, essentially getting another ultimate on your carry. And then of course I've got the seatbelt, which blocks the targeted relic. There's a 6-second cooldown that starts at the beginning, so a little bit you can't block off that initial spell like you're using a Lincoln Sphere, but hopefully I don't get targeted right away, and it'll be a very beneficial one. See this mini stun causing huge problems. And there's that roar, completely stuns his unit, and I take down 2nd place. So the roar already coming into play. And here's the doll, so another juicy. Finally hitting some, and that means I'm going to be getting 2 nested dolls inside. It's going to be dealing a ton of damage and a huge radius. So you're going to see this come out. It's going to be a huge, massive doll. And this spell is just very good. I think a little underrated. Not everybody goes for it. Let's see if the damage is beneficial with this juicy. And there you can see, did a lot of heals and a lot of damage. Top damage dealer, and then of course my backline damage dealer. He's able to survive because of those heals, and he's doing a lot of damage. Of course, the other guy has the Terracotta Army, so all of this AoE damage that I have is just working out very well for me. And he's got a lot of health. This was the player that I was talking about, ranked 17th, so very good player. That's just how it goes. You're going to be facing top players if you play this game because of the player count. But on a winning streak, obviously I have to be. And I'm going to be facing this Harambe build, most likely. And I stop him with the Head of Hypnos. You see, try to get to my back line. And that backline disruption that he thought he had just didn't happen, and now it's a 1 versus 4. Take him down and almost take him out. Another white firework upgrade. We're looking good on upgrades now, so things are popping. Bear trap, just keeping it at level 1. And now I'm getting that stampede, so that stampede should add some nice needed damage. And for the head of Hypnos, I'll go for the passive relic power. Just pretty nice. I don't need to steal a lot of mana. I'm not dealing a lot of damage or using a lot of mana, so not a big deal for me. Now facing again on my winning streak, I'm going to be facing this Abraham Lincoln build, so always take a look. See what you need to target, where you need to go to the back line. You may need to switch sides, which I will. And make sure I'm targeting his carry. He's got 2 rangers. So the doll's coming in. There's the stampede. You can see fairly survivable here, doing a lot of AoE damage, so I take down his Terracotta Army. And he's trying to take me down with the super tanky guy, but with the Scepter of Agamemnon at its juicy, I've got the dog tag, so I've got an extra 1,000 health. There's just a lot of survivability on my Terracotta Army, so it's pretty tough to take me down. Now I'm getting the fire in the hole, so when I'm getting attacked, I have a 15% chance to throw a grenade at an attacker, and that's going to be dealing damage and reducing attack damage. So usually on a tank, but hey, it works out. It's worked out well so far for my Terracotta Army. So yeah, I kind of like this build. It's working out. So I beat both these guys. It's been a little tough. I got to watch out for this guy who gets to my backline with the F1 rocket engine, which is where Hypnos comes into play. So we'll do a quick shuffle, make sure I target his Harambe unit. And you can see that head of Hypnos stunning everybody. Now it's just one before the claw machine doing some serious work, and then I get the roar off again. So he's just permanently stunned. And also you have the lowering of the toughness from the doll, so it's just like there's almost a perma-stun happening, and it's been very difficult for these guys to take me down. So close on a few spells here, and Devil's Bible is one of them. So when the wielder is below 20% health, I'm going to swap with the highest health percentage unit that's in the radius, so a little bit more survivability, great for dealing more damage. And he's probably got 2 lives on him, maybe 3, depending on how close these games are. And I want to target his back line. I'm not too worried. He's got 2 rangers that deal physical damage, which I'm going to be blocking, and he doesn't really have a way to get to my back line, which is my ranger. So I feel pretty safe here that I counter his build. All this AoE damage takes down his Terracotta Army, which means it really is comes down to his tank. And I just have way too much survivability on my Terracotta Army. And you can see the damage that Mammoth Fossil is doing. Another juicy on the mirror, so dealing even more reflected damage, which is great against his rangers. And it looks pretty unstoppable at this point. Again, he doesn't have a lot of ways to get to my backline, and his physical carries are getting countered by the Shroud of Turin, all the heals. So unless he finds some way to take down my backline disruption, I think we're in a pretty good spot here. He spreads out a little bit, tries to avoid all the AoE damage. But there's just too many stuns. And another 4v1. He just can't take anybody down. And I take him down. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay. A lot of fun builds, a lot of fun ultimates into play. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out some other videos of mine. And I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy.